referred to as Folo. When
Yeah,
I
I call her Andrea. So we're all good. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Jacqueline. We're glad you're here.
And decided I'd better come in and make sure you got hold of Anne and Lori before I went to the little
Yeah.
girl's room. So I'll be right back.
All right.
okay.
Lori's sound is muted. Do you know that, Lori? Are you muted on purpose? Hi, Arlene. It's so good to see you.
No,
Good morning, Arlene.
good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Are your earbuds working, Lori?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah.
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 We were hearing something weird for a minute, and so that's why I
Oh,
wasn't
yes.
sure.
So it's okay now. It's really loud. I can't get it to go down any lower.
No, you sound
Loud.
fine.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Something.
Hi, Lala. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Bishop.
Wow,
Glad
look
you're
at
all here.
everybody. How exciting. You guys have done an incredible job. I mean, I went to bed, but I had the iPad, next to me. Every once in a while, I'd open one eye, and there you guys were, crafting along.
Hi, Barb. Hi, Gail. Hi,
There's
Ruth.
Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Good morning. And Lori's already painting. That's why she's painty girl.
Painty girl.
Are your earbuds working, Lori? Or somebody's earbuds are not working?
I can hear you.
Well, I can hear everybody, but there's a echo sound.
Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo.
I don't hear an echo either.
I have everything else closed.
Okay.
See, I don't usually use earbuds and I don't have a problem, but I'm not sure. I can try that route and see if it's better for you. If it's me.
Well, if somebody isn't wearing earbuds, that's where our problem is.
No, I got them on.
So I don't know.
Mine are on.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I mean, I never use them and I never have a problem, but I have them on now because
Okay. Well, I don't know what the problem is then.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm too loud. I'm trying to turn my volume down.
And that could be it. It could be the volume thing. I
Do
don't
you
know.
want me to? How would we test that? Should I? I don't know. By taking them out. I'm not sure.
Okay, is that any better?
I can't tell. Everybody talk a
No?
little bit.
Okay.
Alrighty. Good morning.
I found the volume on the headset itself, so maybe that's better.
Well, yeah.
Does that sound any better, or are you still getting it?
Lori, let's talk one at a time and see. I'm sorry, y'all. We're trying to figure this out.
Well,
Okay, now
I always seem to be the problem child. You've been running smoothly until now. But yeah, I have my headset on. I turned my volume down. My mic is unmuted. I'm paired to my computer. So am I echoing for you now?
no, you sound good.
Okay.
Ian?
All right. I'll test. Good morning, Flolo and Gail and Kimberly and Arlene and Lala.
Okay. I am hearing something when you're talking, Ann, and I don't know if you've got your earbuds in. It doesn't make sense that it would be doing that.
All right. Let me go.
Do you have
up.
anything else open, Ann? Do you have YouTube open by any chance?
No, I shut that down. They told me to turn that down.
Okay.
I have my iPad on, but the volume's down on it. There's no volume on it.
Huh.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe Tanya will have an idea when she gets in here.
Let me just take a peek over here. I have to move the camera to get to my computer. It shows that I am connected and that they are paired with the...
Well, if you can hear in your ear, then it should be good. If you're hearing it in your ear and not off the computer, it should be good.
Well, guess
Hi,
what?
Mindy.
I'm not hearing it in my ear. I'm hearing it off the computer. So
Okay.
it is me. It's me. Let me figure it out.
Well, sometimes on mine, I have to reconnect. I have to go out and back, to get them to pair.
I
So
shut my
How's that?
headset off and then restarted it.
I just restarted mine. It should be good now. Yes?
well, I still hear it. Are you hearing it in your ear? Hi,
Now-
Tina. Hi,
now-
Lisa.
Yes, I am hearing it in my ear. Before I wasn't. Now it's all in my ears.
Okay. Well, I don't know then. It doesn't make sense. I can hear me echoing, but usually that means that somebody's not wearing earbuds, but we all are. So I don't know what's going on.
I wasn't connected before, but now I am.
Yeah.
And
So
is there any sound coming out of your computer?
No.
That's new for me.
What, Lori?
No, there's no sound coming out of my computer.
No sound
Okay.
coming out of mine either.
Good grief. I don't know what's going on then.
Do you hear it too, Tanya?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And why don't you try going out of StreamYard and coming back in? Just go out, leave the studio, and then click the link and come back in and see if maybe that's the difference.
Yeah. Now that your headset is set,
Okay,
when
gotcha.
you come
All
back
right.
in, maybe it will.
All right. Bye.
Hi. I don't know. It's so weird. Hi, Linda.
I think there was a bunch of people come in that I'm not sure I said hello to, but blanket hellos. Wait a minute, I'm still hearing it, and Ann is gone.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to mute for just a minute.
Okay. Okay, we're not talking at all, so. Yeah, it's obviously not Ann. Okay.
Well, what do you want me to try?
It's not you, I don't think.
No.
No, it was
It sounds
doing
like it's me.
it was doing it when it was doing it when you were gone, Ann, so it's not you.
Okay.
Let me mute and y'all talk and see if.
Okay. All
Sorry,
right.
folks.
Now then.
Well.
No, Ann, don't be sorry because it's not yours. It's still doing it, Lisa.
Yeah, I noticed it was still doing it.
Okay.
Okay, everybody talk. Let's see. No, I still hear it, Tanya.
Yeah, you can hear it even when we're not saying anything. You can hear it like vibrating.
Yeah. Lori, why don't you mute for a second? Let's see. I don't know.
All righty. Get my mouse here.
Okay, let's talk and see.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Janet.
It must be Lori.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because the echo's going. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what should I try? Because I've got everything shut off. It's told me it paired me to my computer.
Okay, and you're hearing us through your headset.
Yes, there's nothing coming out of the computer. It's in my headset.
Okay, well, since you're all paired and everything, do what Ann did, which is go out, come right back in on the link, and see if that takes it away.
All righty. Be back.
Poor Lori. Uh-oh, Ann's spinning around over there.
Well, yeah. Well, I figured you might want to see something. I mean,
we might.
I don't know.
Something.
I might. I don't know. It's kind of early. I'm just kind of.
I was going to say I have a piece of paper. So,
Do you? I think I might be. Isn't it funny when you're sitting at your craft table and all of a sudden you just need a piece of paper? Can you find one? No.
Yeah. Okay. Are we? Okay,
I
she's
think it's
back.
better.
And
I'm back.
I think it's way better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay! Oh, goodness
Well,
gracious. Sorry,
we'll-
everybody.
Technology.
15 minutes to get it figured out.
Oh my goodness.
We will sort it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have to tell you, the sun is coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back.
Yeah, the sun's up here.
Oh,
Just starting here.
Yeah. Well, it's 7 o'clock here, so it's not quite as early. I thought, yeah, I always get it confused. So I thought I was going on at 5, and then I realized, no, dummy, you're an hour later, not an hour earlier. So,
Well, see, I didn't realize that Tanya is Central Time. So I was thinking that she'd given me times in Eastern because I'm thinking Florida, East Coast.
right.
yeah. Well, you see, we are not in Florida. We're in Lower Alabama. That's what you call it here. This is even though it by address says Florida, this world is different.
Oh,
This is
okay.
not a Florida world. This is a different world.
Boy, I don't know. That's going to be hard. I mean, Alabama, the Florida world, those are two tough places. I don't know.
Hi, Janet. Hi, Tina.
But so you must be close
Barbara.
to Pensacola, right?
And I'm in Pensacola, yes.
Oh, okay. All righty. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
But you folks that live in Pensacola, you don't like to be called Pensacolians, so you'd rather be called Alabamans?
No, we just always tease that this is closer to Alabama than it is to Florida.
Yeah, Pensacola's at the other. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's like Florida Keys is like 8 hours from here.
Hi, Terry. We're glad you're here, even if it's just for a moment. Drive safe, taking the granddaughter to school.
Excellent. All right. Well, I guess I should do something, huh? Everyone else is.
Yeah, you all need to be doing something.
I know. I'm thinking about it.
Do something.
All right. I'm gonna make a journal out of junk.
All right.
I'm a junker. I save all of these tabs that come in the mail, and then I fold them and then sew them together.
Junk journal junkie, huh?
And then glue stuff in them. So I'm going to get out my handy dandy awl, get out the heavy duty tools here,
Hi, Melissa.
punch some holes, get out a big old needle.
Lori, I like your bunny.
Thank you.
It is very cute.
Lori,
Yes,
I
he's
have
very
a
intelligent
question.
looking.
What microphone are you using?
I'm using one that's called, I don't know, Z8 something. I can look at it.
Okay,
Do your
but the
headphones have a microphone too?
Yes, it's a headset and a microphone.
huh.
Is it still weird?
Yeah, it's still doing it,
It's
but-
still echoing.
I turned the
Huh.
volume down. Well, I can try to turn it down a little more.
The volume in your headset down?
Yeah,
Okay.
that might be it. I mean, when I went into settings, I had to choose, I chose headset hands-free. It's a Z8.
Okay.
And then on the speaker of the headset, I chose the same thing to match. And then, of course, it says Bluetooth. And I've got my echo cancellation marked. And I also have automatically adjust mic volume marked.
Well, you've done everything, but it's.
Should I turn the mic part off, Tanya? Do you think? And
Well,
see,
if you turn the mic part off, yes, that makes the echo go away, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, but won't the then the microphone on my camera kick in
It should.
if I choose that?
Maybe that's the echo.
Yes,
It's got two
I was going to
mics.
say choose the microphone on your camera and let's see what happens, because that's what I'm using. I think that's what Lisa uses.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm using too.
All
I'm
right, I
using the
just
mic
made
and the
this. I
camera.
just made the switch.
So that would be.
I took it off the headset microphone and put it on my camera microphone.
It's much
Okay,
better.
now we
Sounds
have.
fine.
Oh yeah, it sounds so much better.
It's much
Yeah?
better. Yep. Yep.
Woohoo!
Absolutely.
Yep.
All righty.
Well, basically, you had two mics going.
I
Yeah.
think that may have been
No,
what
I
was
could
going-
only select the one.
Yeah.
When you select the one, the
Oh,
other
I
one
see.
is disengages, I guess.
But what might be happening is that the microphone on the headset is so close to the audio that it was hearing our
the reverb.
voices,
Yeah.
and that's why we were getting the echo.
Okay.
By choosing the camera, which we now know, which is a good thing to know for future, by choosing the camera's microphone, it pushes the sound further away from what she's got that she's listening to. That would be my guess. It's a guess. Total, complete guess.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, really.
But it's so
And
much
it
easier
worked, which is the most important thing.
yes,
There
it
you
worked.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
That's true.
Of course.
Lisa's making a totally different journal. Yes, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Melissa just came back in.
This is the journal I'm making for Darren to give to a lady in his office.
She did finish up the other one. She put a cover on it.
I'll show you.
Yeah, well, and you might want to make yourself big just so you can.
Okay, I forget it's me.
Yeah, you got the chores for the
I
next.
got the power.
I got the power. That's
Well,
beautiful.
The finished altered book that I was working on at the beginning. Now, I haven't put any tags or anything in it. It's just here, and that way whoever ends up owning it can have the fun of doing all of that. But there's
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Now, is that top piece of fabric upholstery fabric, Lisa, on the cover?
yes, it is. Well, or drapery fabric. It's probably drapery. It could be either one. It's a pretty heavy fabric. The green is a green linen that was in some pants I had.
Oh, cool.
We got to watch her take them apart.
I did see that. I did remember seeing that. They were a dark green, right? A dark green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Originally, I thought that was a napkin, and I thought, no, it can't be the way she's gluing that down. Then it dawned on me, oh, it's fabric. Oh.
Anyway, there's that one finished. And then this one I made. And the signatures look like this. There's 3 and they're the same, so I'm just going to show you one signature. But the avocado dyed paper, coffee dyed paper, avocado dyed composition book paper. This is the butterfly PT with my plastic placemat, coffee dyed composition paper, and then this is another avocado dyed paper, but with a pocket. And I'm gonna put some stationery in these pockets of that one. And then here's the other side of those. But over here, I put made some little bitty journals to go in this pocket. So each signature is going to have a little journal in this pocket and some stationery in this pocket.
Beautiful.
And there's 3 signatures.
Very nice.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the portrait on the cover, and the way
Yeah.
that
I thought that was really pretty, and I did put a couple of coats of Mod Podge over that, so hopefully it'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Now was that an original? The frame, the paper frame around that, was that one of those?
this is a Tim Holtz frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the olden days when they put pictures in those.
Yeah.
They called them.
Cabinet cards.
Thank you. Cabinet cards. Cabinet cards. Yes. Yeah. That's what I thought. I have several photographs of my relatives that are in the original cabinet cards.
I was doing something on a stream. I guess it was a week or so ago. And you know what I mean? When, like, I don't know if they still use them. I guess they do. It's a mat, and you can get them oval or square, and you like will put your kid's face behind it and then put them in a frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I decorated it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So you could use that and put a picture behind that as well, or those little tiny square ones that were from the slide projectors.
Yes.
My dad had a bunch
Those
of
are cool.
those, and they turned out real cute. And then Riri sent me little pictures to fit behind it. I haven't put them together yet, but I think they'll look great once I get to it.
Well, it's funny because
Thank you, Mindy. And yes, Melissa, she's making a junk journal.
oh yes, Anne's making not a sewing journal. No, this is just going to be. This is those flyers that you get in the mail, and it's list all ad stuff. I'm sewing it together, but I can. Would you like to see my tea cozy that I finished?
Oh yes, Anne.
Yes.
And let me go get it. It's sitting on the teapot in the kitchen, where it belongs, right?
Where it belongs.
Yes.
Mindy, this the blue in that was this cheap dollar store paint. It has some really nice colors. So I'm going to look at this because it needs some pockets and some things like that. So I think I'm going to work on this a little bit here for a while if I can, because I have so much paint on my table that I can't move around. Maybe we should just clean up a little bit. If I cleaned up a little bit, maybe I'd have a little more room. All right, just a little
bit.
So here is the tea cozy, and it was all from.
Oh, can you make her bigger, Lisa? So
Yes,
I can
I'm
see?
sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot it was me.
It's okay.
Oh, sweet.
So that's adorable.
So these are some that I got the slow stitch kit from Brooks Recreations, and I also got an extra pack of fabric because I don't really have any fabric. I just started doing the slow stitch. These are all the pieces, and in the little box, Janet's got one, right, Janet? And it comes with all sorts of bits and pieces. So I just started stitching it, patchworking it together. And then I added some embellish. I love this little thing. And this came out of the kit too. This piece added some buttons, and then sewed this on, and this is that, I think you call it what, batting, or it's kind of like stuffing type of stuff.
Yep, it's called batting.
Batting. Okay, I bought some batting, so that kind of insulates the teapot. I mean, and it fits perfectly. I have a little teapot, and I love this piece because it actually says the word joy right there.
Oh, cool.
How fun.
So that's it. That's my teapot. And, yeah, I had a lot of fun making it.
That's adorable.
And,
okay, now I have a little bit more room. Just a little bit.
Oh, that's good. I did buy a piece of canvas drop cloth and to slow stitch on, and that's really it's a pretty good deal. I mean, for $12, I have a gigantic piece of canvas that I'm gonna, and I cut it up, and I have the embroidery rings, and I'm doing one right now, just sampling stitches, practicing the different stitches. Let's see.
Yes, Andrea, she made clothes for her teapot.
Yeah. That's okay, Arlene. It's nice to see you.
We're just glad you're here, Arlene.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I didn't even say hello to everyone individually. I just had to say blanket hello because I had to have more tea.
More tea is important.
Yeah, the only problem is I'm just renting this lately, so you know. All right, we need pockets. We need okay, it's right side up. This is the journal we made Thursday. Lisa and I made little journals on Thursday, and I thought I would put some pockets and things in it.
Gotta have pockets.
Gotta have pockets, and then we'll have to make some okay. Well, then we'll have to make some. What will we have to make? Some tags and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, tags and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with a pocket. Back side of each of those. What do I want to do to make a pocket? Oh, you know, we were. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what is the actual process of avocado dyeing? You buy the avocados, obviously. You
eat the avocado,
right? Absolutely. No, I love avocado. Nothing's better than some
pit.
Okay, you take the pit and the skin, and you throw it in a water.
In a pot of boiling water.
That's it.
And I don't even boil mine. I just kind of sit on the stove and on the low setting and walk away. and it cooks for a while.
Okay, that's what I figured. It was like, well, you know, I'd stick it there, forget about it, and when I come back, I remember, oh, look, I've been making avocado dye, and then
there you go. That's how it works.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Now, I poured mine off, and then I split the pits and cut the skins more and put more water in there, and I cooked them.
Wow.
I cooked them several times. I got a lot out of the ones I.
Oh, I don't even split the pit or cut the skins up. I just put them back in the pit pot and cook them some more.
Oh, do you?
And
okay.
yeah, and this last batch, because there was a bunch of, I had 5 skins. I cooked them twice already, and I put the skins and the pits in a baggie and put them back in the freezer.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I did that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll use them again later.
Really? Okay.
You can get a lot of stuff out of some avocados.
Sure can.
Now, okay. Next
and
question.
Sometimes this last time I did it, my stuff didn't look as dark or as pink as it has before. And I thought my juice didn't. I thought this is not gonna be good, but let me show you what actually came out of it.
Well, and my last batch is kind of orange instead of pink. It's and I'm wondering if it's my water.
Mine is a brownish pink, but it was very, very dark. I was so shocked because the tea wasn't as dark as some other times when I've done it. But it did a good job. So don't, try to get it when it looks dark in the pan. You want it to look dark in the pan.
Sure.
But anyway, it works anyway, even if it's not dark. That's what I'm trying to say.
So there's my next question is, then what do you do? Just lay the paper out in a sheet pan or something and pour the dye over them and let the paper, how do you get the dye onto the paper?
I use a sheet pan, and
all right.
It depends on what I'm dyeing and what kind of paper I'm dyeing. And but usually I just put a little dye in the pan, then I start layering in my sheets of paper, and I try to make sure that they get covered up with dye. So like I have a big spoon and I just kind of rub it over the top of the piece of paper so that it gets dye all over it.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And there again, Tanya's one of those likes to walk away and ignore it. So a lot of times it'll be there for a whole 24 hours or so before I take take pity
okay.
on it and take it out of the dye bath. And then if Lisa layers hers up with stencils and all kinds of things, so it all depends on whether you want some kind of design on it, or you can crunch it up in not really tight balls, but like a little wad, and let it dry in that little wad, and then when it's dry, very carefully unfold it, and it'll get dye in the creases.
Oh, okay.
And it's very pretty that way.
Oh yes, it does depend. Different papers will take it better. The last two things I've dyed with on the composition notebooks have not taken the dye as well as copy paper or cardstock.
Yeah, my composition paper, it never takes it as dark.
Yeah,
and neither does paper that's like just notebook paper.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and it's just really, I think that the
And then
do you different kind of texture to it.
Do you dry it do you stick it in the oven?
Heavens, no. I live in Florida. I don't stick anything in the oven.
Well, I know, but this time of year, I live in Florida, and I've done just coffee dye, and then I did mix the coffee once with some fountain pen ink, and so I had a mixture of black coffee and brown fountain pen ink, made a little concoction, and then I used
the problem with the oven is you have to stand there and pay attention to it, and I don't have time to do that.
Oh, okay.
So Lisa takes her paper and layers up stencils and stuff because she doesn't have a lot of space to lay it out.
Gotcha.
I have this giant dining room table that if Tanya hasn't already piled it up with stuff, she can lay paper out on it. So sometimes I lay the paper out and I'll put a stencil or lace tablecloth. This is one of my
when it's still wet. Okay.
While it's still wet, and see, I've got coffee dye on this one. Lay it out like that. Okay. It works really fast outdoors if you do it outdoors in the sun.
Yeah, I bet.
Or you can wad it up in a little ball, and then it'll dye. And I just lay it out on the table. Hello, Inferno.
Welcome. Yeah. Hi, Gail.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi, Tori.
Hi, Gail. Lisa,
Carla?
can you make me big for a second? I do want to show this. I've been using these composition books to dye, and like we were talking about, this paper doesn't take the dye as nicely as some other papers. Okay, right. And just so you know, see that got, it's got coffee stains on it. That's because there's coffee all over my plastic tablecloth that I have covering up my table. But composition notebooks are very different when they come from different places. Can you see how blue this is?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's because the lines on this composition book paper run.
Oh.
So I always test a piece because that piece is ran, and I just laid it out. I just wet this down with water, laid it out on my table, and let it get dry. And you can see the difference in the color. When I get home from my trip, I'm going to take this entire composition book and get it wet one piece at a time and lay it out so that it changes. Because it's a pretty color. It looks kind of aged and vintagey.
Yeah,
but,
it does.
The first time I had put this in with coffee and it made mud. I had put an entire composition book in my I had to dump it. Then I had to rinse all the paper because it just looked like it was awful. It was very, very ugly color. And I had to rinse the paper out.
You couldn't salvage it at all, huh? That's too bad.
Oh yeah, I salvaged it. I just it was on my cookie sheet, and I just dumped it out, and then I ran water on it, and then dumped it out and ran water on it several times, and it actually is a very pretty color now.
Okay.
But the point what I'm making is, if you use composition books or notebook paper that has blue lines on it, you definitely want to make sure that you test it to know whether this is going to happen, because it ruined my coffee dye. That's not a big deal, but I don't always have avocado dye.
Well, sure,
if
yeah.
if I'd have put it in that pink dye, it very likely could have done the exact same thing, and then I would have lost my avocado dye. So, yes, thank you, Carla. Thumbs ups would be wonderful. We really appreciate thumbs ups. Okay, you know, one of the reasons. Okay,
I want to say hi to Gail and to Teresa and to the Artful Dabbler, and I can't find my paper, so I can't remember your name. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're here. Tori.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I just learned that.
Linda. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here, and thank you, Carla, for encouraging the thumbs up. I appreciate it.
And Lisa, you can make me little again. Thank you. And Lori, I haven't told you yet, but that bunny is adorable.
Thank you.
Yes, he is.
And what is he on? What are you painting?
It's
What is he on?
I think it's on. It's a like a door panel from an old cabinet.
Okay, a cabinet door. Okay,
that's cool.
That is cool.
So where do you?
When she gets done, she can come and paint my whole kitchen cabinets like that, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, it would not fit in my house. The bunny would not go very well. I forgot I was going to use my journal pantry stuff in here too. So
yeah,
I'm going to get some of that.
You've been making that for. I dropped this book, and now all those little holes were not aligned. Oh, and how stupid! Stupido. This is. I had all these cards staggered, and then I wasn't paying attention. Now I gotta re.
Well, I haven't worked in a composition book in a long while, and I decided to do a little journal type thing for my granddaughter. And I'll tell you what, the paper in a composition book isn't what it used to be.
No, especially if you buy like if you go to Walmart and get the pen gear.
Yeah.
When school starts, you can pick them up for 50 cents a piece. So I usually buy like 10, and I have them. I tried to get my grandsons to start keeping like a glue book when they were here at Christmas time. And tape things in it, because we went to a place called Medieval Times, and a lot of souvenirs and stuff, and they were not interested.
No.
So no.
I don't think this one goes. Do you guys think that one goes?
No.
No, but I think these will go.
Yes, those are pretty.
I'm going to use those.
Oh dear.
Put this up here.
I am making.
Linda McAllister says she's half here. Okay.
Well, we're glad for your presence anyway.
Yeah, I'm glad you're half here, all here, however much here you want to be. Okay, I think these would be pretty like that. So. All right.
Man,
that's what I'm gonna do. Just gotta glue them in. Boy, I like these. These are nice because these are done. I just gotta glue them in. I really want to make more of these.
Oh, what did your daughter say about the bunny?
She just described it to her, and she wants it.
Okay. Tori described it to the daughter. The daughter said, "That's what I." Okay, that's cool.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello, everyone. We're really so glad you're here. We're so glad that so many of you stayed up all night with us.
Linda
Yeah, that's
McAllister. Linda, how are you?
I think we should put the little one in the middle and put the bigger ones. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Little one in the middle, bigger ones in there.
Make a little.
Gotta put my feet up. Okay.
The problem I'm having, it's a little too big to work on in my space.
Yeah, that is a big.
I like to flip it. I like to flip my work around.
I screwed
Oh
this
yeah,
up.
I do too. I want to be able to spin things, turn them
Oh, yeah.
over, and
Especially when painting. At least for me,
When I doodle, I turn my piece around a lot.
yeah.
Coloring, I'm notorious for turning it around.
There's no rule that says you can't.
Right.
So we have people here from on the other side of the pond, Janet.
Oh, yeah.
and Linda. So it's a decent hour. Well, 6 hours later, I do believe. So God bless you.
Bless you.
You guys sound great. You don't sound very
I know,
tired.
they don't sound tired, right?
Right? Yeah, I know.
No.
I was yawning at 10 o'clock. That
Nice.
was when it was really bad.
Well, have you either one of you hit a slump and then kind of worked your way out of it? You must have at some point.
We got a second wind.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not been too bad. Like I said, at 10 o'clock I was yawning. And somewhere along the line I started to hurt and I had to get up and go walk around,
Right.
sitting
Yeah.
in the same
yeah.
chair too long.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah.
I just realized how green this is in the middle and how that I put it on that green page. That worked out. Okay, where's the next one is here?
Is this the first time you've done anything like this where you've
Where we've streamed like this, yes. Oh, sure.
this length of time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it correct me if I'm wrong, but it was on one of your afternoon streams, and I think you kind of half kiddingly around said, "Oh, you should do a marathon."
Yeah, that was.
And I immediately jumped in. I went, "Yeah, I'm in." And the next thing you know,
Next thing you know, you're in.
right? And then a whole bunch of other people, But it was it was very spur of the moment. That's how I remember it, right, ladies?
And it had to be right away because I'm going off.
That's right.
Right.
So you're going to be on the road again.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah.
We hope it's all going to go right. I mean, it was a year ago we had to come home.
Right.
From the trip that we're planning right now.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we were headed out to see Lisa and to Utah and the national parks, Moab, Jeep Week. Now we're not going to Jeep Week. We may go in the week or so after. It depends if we get there or not.
And that's when you had the accident?
Oh no. We had our accident.
I thought that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was 2017, February 27, January 2017.
Because of COVID last time.
Yeah, we had to go home. We had to go home because of COVID. The everything was shutting down. The rest areas were shutting down. People who live in their RVs were unable to find places to camp because they were
Oh,
saying you had to have a month. You had to pay for. You had to be a month. You had to be a resident. You had to
no,
stay.
I see.
And
Okay.
so people, was like, now
Oh, wow.
we have stayed home maybe longer than some other people have stayed home, but we
Right.
also have, elderly parents that we kind of had to watch over
Sure,
a
absolutely.
little bit until
Absolutely.
things got a little better. Mom didn't go. I didn't send mom to. I didn't let her go to the grocery store for
Right.
months.
No.
We sort of had to come home too because she was running out of toilet paper.
Yep. That can be problematic.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, for sure. Well, I had a ticket to Europe bought.
Oh
dear.
my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to leave April 28th, and I shut everything down the week before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had just purchased. Oh
Huh.
gosh.
But at least you didn't get stuck over there.
Well, I don't think I would have minded getting stuck over there.
Right.
I have a
Yeah.
Well, if you
bonus.
can
I have a
afford to be
bonus.
stuck there, then that would be a fun thing
I
to
have
have.
I have a bonus son over there, and I had he had just had his first baby
Oh, okay.
November before, and they gave her my name as her middle name. So
Oh, yeah.
I haven't met her yet, and now baby number 2's on the way.
Oh my goodness. It's so hard to believe that we've been at this for a year,
I know, right? So I'm still hopeful. I'm hopeful that maybe this year I can get there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about other states, but Florida is it's very difficult to get an appointment for the vaccination. It's the most ridiculous. I've been trying now for 3 weeks, and it is. And I had eight devices. 8. I have 4, and my friends kicked in, and you only can go online Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it starts at 7 a.m. in the morning. And then you sit there and you wait for the button to change from waiting to book now. And you watch it, and you watch it, and it resets, it recycles every 60 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
And I've been doing this for 2 weeks now. And then when you get to the if the button lights up and it says book the appointment, you figure, yay, you've gotten in. And then you have to pick what state you live in, and then what county you live in. And then in Brevard County, because I'm in Florida, there's 3 sub areas of Brevard County, and you start clicking areas in the county. And by the time you get to half of them are already booked. The appointments are already booked by the time you get there. But if you find one that is open, that's when you start putting in your information. But what drives me absolutely bonkers, then you have that horrible thing where it says, I'm not a robot, and then you have to identify. Right. Then you have to stop and identify all the pictures that have a crosswalk or a bus in it or a traffic light or whatever.
Those pictures make me crazy. I never get it right.
And then you're rushing. And so by the time by the time you finish that and you think you finally have found a Publix grocery store, because that's where most of the vaccinations are being given, right? By the time you get there, those appointments are all taken. And then you start all over again. And the only good thing about it is that it's usually over in about an hour and 15 minutes. Every single appointment has been taken. And then you can start all over again 2 days later. It's ridiculous. But so I'll wait until they become more readily available. My son is a school teacher in Utah, and he's gotten both of his shots. So they're vaccinating the teachers in Utah, which I think is nice. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of places are doing that.
Yeah.
They're getting there.
Barbara, a trip to Dick Blick would make me very happy. I would like to go to Dick Blick. Haven't been in a while.
I've never been. That would be like a Nirvana trip, right? Like,
I went one time. There's one in Philadelphia, so I went.
I used to go every time, about once a month.
Really?
When we went to Omaha.
I'll tell you what, I didn't find any deals like Dee Dee finds, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I sent away and got both of their catalogs, so I've got catalogs to look at, and so I can drool. They came in the mail. You have to just ask, and they send them. Okay,
it's like being a kid again and waiting for that Sears catalog to come at Christmas time.
Yes. I was just thinking the same thing, exactly. And then, I play this game, and if I had unlimited funds, what would I get? And you go, oh, I'd like one of these and two of these, and I'd like to buy, all of those really expensive watercolor paints and the really good brushes and all that neat stuff.
I have no desire to have good brushes because I know exactly what I would do to them.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They would end up trashed, and then I would feel bad.
Well, that's a good point.
I must be a little tired. I can't decide exactly how I want to make a pocket. Okay. Why can I not understand how to make a pocket?
I have no idea. I don't know why you can't figure that out. You've only been up crafting for
I don't know. Where's Mindy to tell us how many hours we've been doing this?
Oh, do you have
Maybe she's asleep.
Somebody was doing a countdown when we started.
Yeah.
It's Mindy.
And then somebody picked up again.
Oh, hi. Good morning, Aunt Beth. I didn't see you.
Hi, Becky. I'm glad you're
Becky.
here. Becky. Hi, Susie.
Happy belated birthday. Did you have a good day, I hope, yesterday? That's right. You sang yesterday. You sang happy birthday to Becky.
Yeah, we
Susie,
did.
don't worry about it. We totally understand. Mindy says 15 down.
Wow.
All right.
15 down. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness me.
And you really are doing the 24, right? You're shutting it down at 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
We'll be on Lisa's channel the last 3 hours.
Okay.
Unless they say, oh, let's do another 24.
Oh, I doubt that. Yeah.
No.
You're pretty funny. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that we're gonna just tell you that's just not in the cards.
Yeah. You know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, Lord, yeah, go ahead. We'll see you when you're done, right?
Have fun.
Have fun.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Where are you?
This is what not to do. No.
Okay. Where's it? I don't like that. Right about here.
This is ridiculous. I make these things all the time. Never have any issues. And of course today.
Oh, that's standard procedure. You're live. You're
right. That's it. It's just
okay.
And I don't want to. I've got all threads in all 3 holes, so I don't want to screw that up.
All right. Oh yeah, that'll work. Now then, we're going to.
Melissa says, I tossed several times during the night and thought, am I awake enough to check in? And then fall back asleep.
Well, Kathy was supposedly coming on to see if we were snoring, but she hasn't been back in.
Oh, I saw that.
Unless she just
conversation last
clicked
night.
on to make sure, and then she went away.
Then she went
out
actually. Is that what you're saying? Unless
That was
she
Kathy
likes-
Berg, right? Kathy Berg last night. That I think I saw that. Yeah. Well, I told you I had my iPad in bed with me, and every once in a while I would just literally open one eye and say, "Oh my gosh, they're still going."
Yeah, we're still going.
And then I set my alarm, and I woke up without the alarm, which is a good thing because the alarm didn't go off. So I must not have set it right. But I woke up anyway in plenty of time.
Well, I did nod off a little bit, and I had Alexa set to wake me in a half hour because I thought,
Yeah.
because I was up most of the night, but I did nod off a couple times.
And
Yeah. Yes.
Cheryl DeMarco.
Yeah.
Is it? She says she just sent you a link.
Okay.
Let me find it. She's just sent you a link to get an appointment at work. She just got her second one.
Okay. Thank you. Where? No. Okay, thank you. I will send me a link. Okay. And Messenger or in Facebook, I take it. Messenger. Can't see. Where is she?
No. Don't slide. Don't slide.
Bye, Arlene. Thanks for coming.
Bye,
in.
Arlene. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Cheryl. All right.
Good. Hi, Roy.
Hi, Roy.
Hi, Roy.
Good morning,
We're
Roy.
glad to see you.
Yeah, we're hanging in. Well, we've only been on just almost an hour. Tori and I were just,
We're rookies.
we're rookies. Yeah. We're just, we're along for the short ride, not the long ride. The short haul, not the long haul. We're short
Well, we're
haulers.
glad you're here.
Yes, we are. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was a mess. Okay.
Journey.
Oh, goody.
Journey.
Oh, goody. Make
And
yourself
Holly.
big.
I
We've
told
been
everybody
waiting
when
for
you
you.
got there, Journey, I was going to show what you sent me.
And Picola. Hi, Picola.
Hi,
16
Picola.
down. 8 to go. 16 down.
This
8
is how it came.
Ooh.
Ooh.
In one of these, they had to put it in this bag because they tore it up.
I'll have to tell you the story. I bought 20 copies of National Geographic off of a site called McCary,
Okay.
and the box arrived empty.
You're kidding.
And I should have. You could see that it wasn't packaged well. Okay, you could see where
Okay,
there was
yeah, but
hardly
still.
any. I mean, magazines are heavy. I should have
the
known
National
better when
Geos are for sure, yeah.
I bought from a guy called Captain Sweatpants. It should have been my
Ah,
first clue.
that's well, that should have
been a
been, yeah.
clue.
That should have been
Captain
a clue.
Sweatpants.
Well, I will tell you a very big horror story. I ordered glass from another glass maker,
Yeah.
limited edition glass.
Uh-oh.
She sent it in a flat rate box, and it
Yeah.
didn't even have a piece of bubble wrap around it.
Oh, you're
So-
kidding me.
What I received in the mail shook and rattled.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Not with
It
glass.
was, it was a huge mess. I didn't even open it for 3 or 4 days because I knew opening it was going to
Be
put
sick.
glass all over my house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
actually,
Okay, let me read your note.
Okay.
She says, "Dear Lisa, I saw this book and fell in love with all the photos. I thought you might like one as well. All the fiber yumminess. P.S. I can knit, but I haven't learned to crochet yet. Our group makes some beautiful items. Love you and art journey." Okay, and here's the book. The Art of Knitting, Inspirational Stitches, Textures, and Surfaces.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
This is a humongous book. Look at these pictures.
Ooh,
Ooh.
eye candy.
Nice.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh,
And I
wow.
love these pictures. I'm glad you
Oh,
just got me the pictures and you weren't expecting me to learn how to knit. Because I love the pictures, but I
look
tried
at
learning
that.
how to knit once and it was difficult. But these
Yeah.
are gorgeous pictures.
Well, there's your inspiration.
excuse me just a minute. Yes, Roy, shard art. Yes, that's it, but it was more like frit. That's what we call little tiny itty bitty pieces of stuff, and I actually buy it that way. It's called frit, F-R-I-T. And that was what was in my box. And Lisa, that is the most amazingly beautiful book.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Oh,
Thank you, Journey. Thank you so much.
that's gorgeous. See, now you
I'm
will.
assuming it's okay for me to use these pictures outside of the book.
Permission granted.
We'll see what she says.
Oops, that's the wrong box. Not that box. That's a bad. That's not my box. That's not the one I'm on.
Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous?
No.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, Jacqueline, and hi. Picola is here, and oh, somebody else came in, and I missed them. Oh dear.
I did too because I was looking at my beautiful book.
Oh, I think when I do that.
That is just yummy.
It is awesome. Hi, Dee Dee. We're glad you're back.
Hi, Deanie.
Kimberly.
Yeah. And hot thread. I'm not familiar.
That Deanie.
Hi, Barb. Hi, Brittany.
Ruth. Hi,
This
Ruth.
is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous, gorgeous.
It's a stunner.
There we go. That's the box I wanted.
See, now you'll be inspired.
Oh, I'm inspired, but not to knit. I mean, the knitting is gorgeous, but just look at all the colors and it is beautiful. Ooh, I didn't see that one.
Mm.
You missed some of them.
One time I could knit and purl, but that was it. So, and then I can't even do that
Well,
anymore.
everything hinges from the knit and purl, so you were on your
Melissa
way.
wants the ISBN number for that book, Lisa.
Alrighty. I don't know if you won't be able to see it, so I'm going to read it off to you. So get ready to write.
And Mona's still here. Mina is still here. Yeah. Anyways, glad to hear it, dear. Go ahead.
Okay. 978 500 28557 2. Now that's this part here. Now I don't know if this is part of it or if this is something else. But this little part down here is 54495. I don't think that's part of it. I think it's just the 978 500 28557 Yes, that's it, Melissa. Thank you. This is just a gorgeous book. Thank you.
I don't think you're done opening the package.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that's just a note laying there. Okay.
Yeah. This is my fabric. I just laid it on top.
Ah,
But
okay.
it's on pretty paper.
There you go. I was going to say, I was going to show Roy, this is Frit.
Oh, just a second. Just a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is Frit with dust on top, too.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Now-
it's not cheap.
So you,
Tanya, do you have any videos of yourself making beads?
I was just
No,
going to ask that.
and
No.
I have not. I've not made videos because I'm going to have to ask Jeff to help me to do that. So one of these days.
Oh,
You know, it's a torch, and you can't. It's not a. Being able to see is something that's you kind of have to be able to see through the camera to see what's going on, and I can't do both things. I can't make beads and make a video at the same time. And one of these days, I will have to try to take the time and get him to help me, and we'll have to make a video. But there are lots of bead making videos out there, and if people do it by themselves, more power to them. But
not for you.
I have to have I don't have enough brain cells left to do both things at the same time. That's the deal. That's the deal. So, and I have gotten to where I make sort of a select kind of few beads. I don't make round beads very often anymore at all. That's
Oh, I thought you were making beads. You sell beads, though.
I make glass beads, but I don't make round beads. I make flowers and cones and
now are you
flowers things and go ahead.
Are you melting those pieces of glass and putting them into molds, or?
No, those pieces of glass are to kind of decorate other pieces of glass. Just a minute. I'm reaching. Come on. Have you got any?
Yeah, I just can't picture it. I don't know why.
I'm getting here. You see these?
Yeah.
Okay, these are rods of glass. They are not hollow. They're solid.
Oh, wow.
This is what? Okay, this is a good torch. Let me put my ink bottle back on here. I usually use a stapler. Okay, this is my torch. And out of the end of this thing is fire that is at about 1,400 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Fahrenheit. Wow. Okay. And that's because that's the heat I need to melt something called soft glass.
Okay. All right.
All the kinds of glass I usually use is soft glass. A mason jar or a Pyrex cup, those are called borosilicate glass. Scientific glass is usually borosilicate. It's much harder to break. The kind of glass I use is very much like a beer bottle or a glass in your kitchen, that kind of thing. Now, believe it or not, liquor bottles are made out of borosilicate glass most of the time.
Huh. Just interesting.
I don't know exactly why, but that's the case. So what happens is we're going to pretend these two rods are different things. I can't reach a metal rod very easily. This hand over here has a little skinny metal rod in it. It's called a mandrel.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, quick pizza. That's right, Barbara. And actually, it's a very fast haircut if you lean too close to the torch.
Oh, that just stinks. That's just a smelly haircut.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, fingernails are even worse when you catch your fingernails.
Ooh.
Okay, so this rod is actually metal. Well, let's use two different colors. It would be easier. Okay, this one's metal. Okay, and it's skinny. I actually use 3/32 inch rods. So they're 3/32 of an inch thick. They're stainless steel, and then I coat them in this stuff called bead release, which is actually very slimy clay.
Oh.
I roll this around in my hand like this in front of this hot torch.
Yes.
Okay, and it's rolling around, and at the same time, this rod of glass is in that heat, and it's melting. And this is something you learn not to do in a hurry, because if you shove that in there, then you wear tattoos like this one for the rest of your life.
I bet you. Yeah,
You know,
I would imagine. Yeah.
because it pops. Okay, so
Wow.
I've learned not to do that so much. And I have little toys like a rod heater that helps me to keep from having that problem.
Wow.
So I just dip this a little bit at a time until it gets warm, and then I start melting it. Okay, so we're melting it and melting it. Okay, so then what happens is, as we're spinning this little metal rod, this little drippy glass is wrapping on that metal rod. Okay, now if you're going to make a round bead, you have to very carefully spin this metal rod. Hi, hun. Good morning. Did I wake you up?
Good morning, Jeff.
Oh, we're having it. Everybody say good morning.
Morning.
We're having a tutorial. Yeah. Yep. He said. I thought you were supposed to be doing paper, not glass.
Multitasking now.
So this is. I used to do this at shows all the time. Like I said, I used a stapler instead of my punch, but the glass is actually a liquid. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. You know how water has a surface tension that creates a bubble or a drip? Okay. Glass has that same kind of surface tension. So if I put glass on here properly, and I keep spinning this rod in the heat properly, that bead right there will get it's not round. I had a bead the other day. What did I do with it? It's really more of a donut shape.
Oh, okay.
I'll go get one. I'll be right back.
I guess got to be paying attention when you're doing that. Otherwise, I can imagine lots of burns.
Yeah.
Ooh. I finally got this thing together. And I don't like that glue though.
Roy says PBS had a craft series where one episode was on making glass beads. I gained a new respect for the craft of making and for the price of glass beads. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of time. My beads are priced based on time. Rondell, thank you, Carla. It looks more like a donut. Okay. I brought the biggest one I could find in the drawer fast. But you see how it's kind of thinner.
Yeah.
It's like she said, it's a rondelle. To me, it always makes me think more of a donut shape instead of being round. It's more flat and rondelle shaped. Okay. So if I want to make a bead that looks like this, I have to physically turn this into this.
So you got to stretch it out.
Yeah, you actually have to roll it and flatten it. The deal is you make every bead like this first, or most. I shouldn't say every bead, because the flower beads I make, I do not turn into this. Becky says she loves them for scissors charms. It marks all her fabric scissors. But if I want this shape, I have to make this bead first, and then I have to shape it into this. If I want this bead, I have to really make a rondelle and then shape it. Now this bead is flattened by by Tanya power on a flat graphite thing that I keep on my torch. This bead I actually have a brass press for.
Oh, okay.
So it means I make a round or a rondelle type shape bead like this, and then I put it in this brass press and I go squish, and then it turns into this.
Okay.
Okay, this bead is actually hollow in the middle.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
It would, and this is a small one. I was making a whole series of these. They're really pretty and they're lightweight. I made this big gravity and centrifugal force. Yes, said that gravity is the detriment. The centrifugal force is what makes it centrifugal. Okay, never mind
that word.
That word.
You said that just fine with no sleep. Yeah, I challenge anybody to say that without any sleep.
And Carla, you don't really blow beads for the most part. I've actually blown glass ornaments and things like that. I don't have the strength to handle the pipe, nor can I handle the heat. It's bad enough when you work with a torch, let alone when you work with a furnace. Yeah, I've been up too long to say those words. This bead right here, can you see the fact that it has 3-dimensional dots on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I made a rondelle type bead like this. Then I I started by taking this rod of glass, melting it, and taking my pliers and pulling a piece that was the size of a pencil lead. We call them stringers. And that pencil lead is what I use to create these dots. And all of that is done while this bead has to stay hot. The big thing is that if this bead cools too quickly, too much, or anything else, it'll crack.
Oh.
It will crack just like automatically, and they crack right in the middle when that happens. Glass does not like to go between hot and cold and cold and hot. It doesn't mind being hot. It doesn't mind being cold, but it doesn't like the in-betweens if it's not done properly.
Right. I would imagine. Yeah.
Okay, that's why good beads, go straight to the kiln. That's we call it annealing instead of tempering. Linda, I'll answer your question in just a minute.
Yeah.
Annealing. And now, when I first started, I annealed my beads in what they call a blanket. It's made out of ceramic fiber. I could probably make beads like this, but this would be pushing the size I could put in an annealing blanket. These little flat beads like this, no way. They would crack because they would cool too quickly in that annealing blanket. The flower beads that I showed, I don't remember when I showed those today, yesterday, whenever it was.
Earlier.
They're flat, and you cannot put them in a blanket and expect them to survive. So I finish with the torch, and they go straight into the kiln. And my kiln sits at about 940 degrees. And that's what we call garaging them.
Garaging them.
And
I love the terms.
Yeah, when I finish for the day, good morning, Val. When I finish working, okay, so I make beads and I make beads and I make beads. And I can, as long as the kiln is on, I can stop the torch and I can, go to the bathroom, get some lunch, do whatever I'm doing. I try not to do a lot of that because the longer the kiln runs, the more the power bill goes up, right?
Sure. Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, so they're garaging in the kiln, and then, when I bought my first kiln, I knew that I wanted a kiln that was, it's like a Pyrex dish. If you learn the hard way not to put cold water straight into it when it's hot, and this is even worse because this is softer glass. but I can push a button. Actually, I have to push 2 buttons, and the computer that is in my kiln does what's called annealing, and that means that it brings the temperature of the kiln down, bringing the temperature of the beads down at a very specific rate. And there are steps. Like it's at 9:40 when it starts. It sits there for 45 minutes, I think. It drops to 870, which is a really weird number, I know, but that's what it needs to drop to. And when it drops that drop to that 870, it has to drop very slowly, and I think it takes it about 30 or 35 minutes to come down. It sits at 870 for a certain amount of time, then it drops slowly.
Okay.
When it finally hits 700 degrees, my kiln shuts off, but it slowly loses heat over time. So that's called annealing or tempering, and that makes them stronger. And I always told kids that what happens is that glass molecules have a party. When they get hot, they have this big old party, and they're just doing this and doing this. If they cool too fast, they go bump, and then they break right there. If they cool slowly and properly, the molecules come back together just like this and create a strong bond.
I'm sure the kids enjoy that. Yeah, it's a great way.
And that's what you got to realize is that beads that are annealed properly or glass that is annealed properly is much stronger.
Yes.
I can drop a bead and it'll be fine. Now I can turn around and drop a bead and it'll break. So, that's beside, it's just the way it is. So, okay, you can make me little again. I don't need to be big anymore. I hope that answered the questions.
No, I think it's
Except for
wonderful.
Linda asked me about selling beads. And I don't have an Etsy store anymore. Etsy has gotten to where it's not a pleasant place. Excuse me just a minute.
I've heard that from
Take
a
a
lot
drink
of
and
crafters.
relax a minute before you answer her question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that complaint from a lot of people about Etsy. It's very difficult. It's not user friendly. That's an amazing process.
Linda asked me about selling beads, and Linda, I sell through a couple of Facebook groups, and I'm going to go fetch you the link to starting Wednesday night. I have a show in the Facebook group Glass Melters Open Market. And what that means is, how we have Facebook groups. Lisa and I both have Facebook groups. I think Lori has. Lori, I don't know if you have a Facebook group or not. But
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, the wall on the group Wednesday night at 8:00 becomes my wall. And I can list all the beads I want to list. And people use the term buy it now, BIN. And that means they want that bead. And then at the end of the show, I tally up their beads and I send them a PayPal invoice.
Oh,
and then I ship. But I have that wall for 2 days. So I can list beads for 2 days for that particular group. And I used to do several groups, and I used to do, a show constantly, but it's gotten to where it's not. Linda, that was Dana this morning that said it, I think, said I should do a YouTube trunk show kind of thing. And maybe when we get home, I should do that. But I'll go fetch that link just in case you want to see it. You do have to be part of the group. That's the problem. You have to join the groups. You can always leave a group afterwards. That's
Right.
I was going to say, you can join for this one sale and then leave.
Right, but if you don't know about it, it kind of narrows your ability to reach a larger audience.
Yes,
Like
it does.
I wouldn't know that you have to join a group to buy beads or anything, anything that anybody was selling.
The thing of it is if you're into beads, especially into lampwork beads, that is not. I mean, it's a common thing, and I've been doing it now since before I left South Dakota, which we left South Dakota in 2016. Yeah. So it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of groups that sell lampwork beads. It's just not uncommon. I have gotten it down to where a lot of my customers are in these particular groups, and that's why I use these groups.
Okay. And they're familiar with your work, and
yes. Mm-hmm.
And you're familiar with, they're good customers, and they don't,
I don't ship anything till it's paid for, so it's
right,
really,
even
if and new customers are always good. Let's see.
Becky's gonna go make breakfast.
Ooh, make me some, please, Becky.
Well, Jeffrey made toast of some kind, so.
I was gonna say something sounds good.
Anything sounds good.
I don't usually want breakfast, but I'm not usually up all night.
Yeah, there you go.
That might have something to do with it.
But Roy wants dark, no sugar. I guess he's wanting coffee, I guess. Okay, I gotta put these away now. Where were they? Okay, you were in here. Oh dear, what were you? Okay, you were there. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be upside down. Lisa, you want to make me big for just a second? I think I can show it.
Upside down.
Yeah. You're upside down. I'm gonna try to get you in a little closer.
Okay.
Those are her beads.
No, those are beads.
her glass.
That's my stash of rods.
Oh wow.
And it used to be a lot fuller. I've been very, very careful to not buy anything I don't have to have for the last 2 years. But I used to buy glass by the 40-pound box. And I used to go through 4 or 5 pounds a day. I do not do that anymore because I don't work the same way, and I don't make gigantic beads like I used to anymore. And up here, let me see if I can go up any higher. Okay, that is boxes of frit.
Oh wow!
Like I showed you earlier, in all kinds of different colors. Right. And we had to. This stuff had to be bought by kilos. They started selling small amounts of it. Let me bring it back down. There's my lovely haircut. Okay, there we go.
Now, Tanya, when you put them in the kiln, is there a rack that you put them on, or little hooks or something?
No. Well, I shouldn't say no. I have a little wire thing in there that I sit the mandrel on so the bead doesn't touch anything. Mm-hmm. And I sit it there like that for, now one kiln is actually, it just goes in and hangs there. Is the way I use it. But some bead makers make big fancy beads and that's all they do. And they make, 12 beads and they're done. Uh-huh. I make 200 beads before I fill up the kiln. And so my mandrels will sit on this little piece of wire. It's a piece of hardware cloth folded in half. So they'll sit like that, and I'll line up about 6 of them, and then I'll take all of them except the last one, and I'll put them over here, over to the side, and I'll pile them up. And I pile these like you wouldn't believe. That is, you have to know when how long it has been in there, and it's cool enough. Giant beads take longer to cool, so you can't touch them together. If you put frit on top of them, some of the frits you can't touch together. So you got to know which. I've been doing it 20 years, so almost 20 years. So it's kind of second nature or muscle memory now. It's not as hard as it used to be.
Yeah, and over time you figure out what's the most efficient way of doing certain things, I'm sure, with time.
Well, and that's why this kind of beads, I don't make this kind of beads very much anymore. I rarely make these. Other bead makers already make these. Why should I make something that 50 other bead makers make?
Right.
So I make a lot of flowers and weird stuff. Things that other people don't make.
So what would you consider weird?
Here, I'll go get some.
So she showed us some earlier.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're pretty cool. You'll want to see them.
It's easier to show you than it is to try to explain it.
Linda just brought Bootsy some coffee. Isn't that nice? What a friend. Wouldn't that be great? I'm drinking my iced coffee.
Yeah, mine's cooled down too. Yeah.
I just drink iced coffee. I make a big pot and
Oh, do you?
Yeah. When I'm not drinking tea.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Sorry, I had to check on the postman and find out when the postman planned on going to the post office.
Ah, yes.
Well, I have an order I have to pack. When I have shows 1 week and it's only going to be 3 days before the next show is going to start after they've paid me, I always ask, do you want me to hold your box? Now then, I don't consider these weird. These are not.
Just a second.
These
I'm
are
sorry.
not weird. Big. Okay. These aren't weird. These are just little flowers. Okay. Now, I showed these earlier, and these little flowers and these little tiny cones, are actually hollow inside. So they make really cute tassel toppers and all kinds of little things like that. These little flower beads, these are made with one kind of glass. The reason these work best this way is this glass is stiffer. There again, it's a learn to do thing. Okay, but then I make these flower beads. And while that looks the same as this, they're totally different. And you can't put these two things together. If you do, they'll break. It's called coefficient of expansion. Don't ask me to explain that. I don't understand it myself. I just know this doesn't work with this.
You mean when you're firing them?
Yeah, period. If you put this glass on this bead in any way, shape, or form, they will break.
Really?
Yes. This one is a 104 COA. No, wait a minute. This one's 104 COA, and this one's 90 COE.
Wow.
Okay. So they're just that little bit of difference, and it changes it. This is an American-made glass. This is an Italian-made glass. I do have a Chinese glass that works along with this. I don't keep a lot of it because it's a little harder. It's a little harder to make behave, and so unless it's a really pretty color, I don't buy it. Okay, so these are pretty normal beads, but these are different than other bead makers make. These are the ones that are a little different, a little odd.
Oh, I love that one. That is cool.
Okay,
Aw,
now these are big cones, so there's lots of tassel-y things that you can do with them.
like a squash
And-
sombrero.
Yes, a kind of a squash sombrero. Somebody called them sorting hats one time. Cosine of the tangent.
Oh,
to
I
the
didn't
tenth.
think so.
There you go. Roy's doing math, and that's not my thing. So these are actually
Roy,
what I call Alice's Garden flowers. I did a whole series of beads. It's called Alice's Garden, as in
okay.
Alice in Wonderland.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, and these are spikes.
Cool.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
and these are really cool when you tuck them in these.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So these are a little weird. Not very many people make these.
I can, yeah.
And this, I will tell you, requires practice.
Uh-huh.
I would think all of it requires some practice.
Yeah, right, yeah. I imagine
know,
twisting those cones, though. That's got to be really labor intensive, making those. They almost look like golf tees, but obviously they're
I
not.
like that
these,
green
yeah.
one. I like that green one. you
But
have
this,
there.
what this
Yeah.
requires is more understanding the heat than anything. It's about exactly how liquid your glass gets to be. You know, it's exactly how much
Amazing.
wash is going to come out of it.
Wow.
What's going on? Thinking the same thing, Roy?
I said amazing.
Okay, you can make me little. Teresa needs coffee.
It really is. The whole process.
Pacola asked what I'm making. I'm making some fabric. I'm gonna make. I think it was Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. I saw making.
So.
She called them toppers, where she put a piece of fabric and a smaller piece of fabric, and then she did something. But you make this in advance, and then you put it on the front of a journal. You know, so you've got these made in advance, and I wanted to make some for my my journal pantry.
Oh.
So that's what I'm doing. Right now I'm just doing some base fabric pieces, and then I'm gonna layer them up, and then I'm gonna sew them. But for right now, I'm just making base pieces.
Thank you, Deanie. And I'm going to excuse myself for just a minute and be right back. I want to put all this away. And
okay,
I'm so awkward and clumsy that I would be able to supply you with a lot of frit. Yeah, you probably could. Like I said, I do not pop glass like I used to. I mean, I've learned a lot about temperature control, and I've quit buying anything glass wise. That there's a glass that comes out of India. It's called Davardi glass, and their price is real cheap. It's real cheap, and they have some pretty colors. But that stuff, it's full of holes for one thing. Long tubular holes like a straw, and it's inconsistent in size and color and shape, and those holes make it pop all over. It's it's just, you know, very irritating. Very irritating. You talk about a good brush compared to a cheap brush.
Yeah.
Well, Davardi glass is like using let me think. Trying to use a Harbor Freight brush to paint your entire house.
Oh, geez.
That's what Davardi glass is like. Okay, bye, Linda.
Bye, Linda. Thanks for coming.
Anyways, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alrighty. We'll be here.
Hope so.
We'll leave the light on.
That's the
Yeah.
plan anyway.
Yeah. All right. I thought I had more stuff. I'm going to switch.
What I'm really making is a pile of string.
Well, I want to know, you guys have been filling your pantries for the last, well, for quite a while. So my question is, when do you finally dip into your pantry?
Well, we were trying to get a bunch of different things, make a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
On our Tuesday, Thursday streams.
Yeah.
And so our goal was just to show a bunch of different things you could make for your pantry. So, I mean, I've already dipped into mine and used things out of it. Tanya's used things out of hers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's not like there's a magic date, but the goal of that series was to show a bunch of things you can make in advance, so it's easier to work in a journal when it's time.
That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Because you made a lot of neat stuff, that's for sure.
Well, we've had a lot of fun. We made that journal on Thursday, and part of what we wanted to do in this Stream-A-Thon is actually put some of the stuff from our pantry into it, or make some more stuff like what we made in our pantry and put in it. Either one. We talked about trying to we didn't make as much of anything as we wanted to, because we always ran out of time.
Oh, wow.
So we talked about making some more stuff too while we're doing this, and neither one of us have done that yet, but hi, Darla. She says she has several bags of string like that she saved. She's sure there's something cool to do with them. Yeah. I've seen people take these and put it inside that stabilizer that's water soluble, and they just put it all inside there, a whole bunch of colors, and then they sew all over it, and then they dissolve that stuff, and then they've made some kind of string cool fabric to use however they want to use it. But I think that sounds like fun. But sometimes I just take little bits of whatever it is, and wad it up and put it in my collage or my cluster or whatever it is I'm building.
That cluster, use it like cheesecloth almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Use it like a backing or little fluff.
So if you've got a bunch of it, then you've got a bunch of different colors, and you can, choose things that match or contrast or whatever.
Roy says Lizzie uses it for stuffing small projects. I've done that. We used to do that all the time, and it's with the wash away stabilizer. Aqua mesh is what they call it. There's a couple of them, but hi,
Yeah.
Darla. Rows of the stabilizer and I quilt. Thanks for the ideas of what to do with it. Yeah. Yeah. That water soluble stabilizer. And there's different kinds of that water soluble stabilizer. There are some that when you wash it away, you soak it, and the stabilizer kind of goes into your fabric or into your threads and stiffens them some. And they use that a lot, that particular product a lot, when they're doing like lace ornaments or things like that.
I was just going to say, I think my mom used to use that because she would crochet hearts and stars, and then we would put them on our Christmas tree, but they were stiff, and she used some kind of a stabilizer.
She probably used a liquid.
I'll be right back.
Or starch,
soaked her things in. Yeah. On the machine, when you're machine embroidering, you need something to put your thread into, and that stabilizer is like what you put in your embroidery hoop, and then you wash it away, and that stabilizer stuff kind of soaks into the thread, and it makes it look like what your mom used some kind of liquid, probably starch.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Do you have a cough drop, Tanya?
I am possibly going to have to get something. It's not. It's the cough is because my throat gets dry. I'm talking too much.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought if you sucked on a cough drop, it might soothe it.
Yeah, next time I get up, maybe I'll go get one. I'm being lazy. I don't want to get back up.
I understand.
Stiffy. Yeah, there you go. That is what I'm thinking about, Becky. Thank you.
Now I've got some little bits like this that, you know, that are not, that I might use to layer and not be a base, but I'm just trying to make some bases in different sizes, and I can come back and take bits off like this and tear them down to make them smaller if they're not going to fit. But I wanted to get some different colors of bases so I can play with adding stuff to them.
Okay, I've got.
Hi, Sherry.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. These need decorated more than they are, but they'll do for now. I asked Jeffrey, I said, you didn't say a word about my art gallery in the living room floor. And he said, as long as it's picked up by tomorrow. I said, why? And he says, because he has to vacuum. That, you know, it has nothing to do with, you know, the people are coming, but he has to vacuum and they'll be in his way. And he said he's not going to the post office till this afternoon, so I have till later to do that package, which is not a big deal. I'll have to do it, you know, before we get off, but it won't take me long. It's just one package. Can't take Holly. Oh, are we picking on Holly again?
Oh, I didn't know anybody was picking on Holly. Sorry, Holly.
Well, she was probably misbehaving.
I was just going to say she was probably being naughty.
Well, sometimes that's true, but sometimes she's just the scapegoat.
That's true too.
No.
That is true too. Let's get that first cup of coffee down and revisit. Okay. Okay, that's 2. Okay, I almost got 6 pockets in here. 6 whole pockets. This is going to take forever.
I just realized I've been doing all this with this black paint sitting right there, just waiting for me to dip my fabric in it.
Uh-oh.
I'm just really lucky I haven't already done that.
Well, especially since your little faux pas has not happened. So,
well, we still got hours to go before we sleep.
if y'all aren't aware, Tanya dumped paint on her first thing yesterday. First thing, I dumped paint all over myself.
And then what did Barbara do?
Giggle. Did she giggle?
Well, yeah, but she did something too, so they were waiting for when it was going to be my turn.
Yeah. I can't remember what Barbara did. We'll have to wait till find out what Barbara did. That was, well, I don't remember, but something.
I don't remember either.
Okay. All right. So I have 2 pockets. Probably need my envelopes. But let's see here if I had. Where are they? Oh, there's my envelopes right there. I think I have 3 tall, skinny. I do 3 tall, skinny notebooks. That will be perfect. To go in my little library pockets, I think. Oh, you're not going to go in? Is that the case? You are not going to go in. All right. Okay.
I love
Well, I'll put you in behind. Ha, ha, ha.
I wouldn't be fighting with her. Whoever's giving, I wouldn't.
No. Look, you little nasty library pockets, don't misbehave.
That's right.
Yeah.
You might be. Might be the last
So I got
time they
3
misbehave.
little notebooks in my library pockets. So I got that much. Okay, so now my book is already doing that. Okay, let's look at the envelopes and see if there's any envelopes that I like for here. Noisy dogs. Well, how about that? I got 3 little ones like that, so that would be good.
Might be good.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I have 4 like that.
Okay. Kimberly says we're back from our walk. All blades of grass have been sniffed.
I see. Uh-huh. Ooh, Anne's playing with the. Oh, we lost Lori.
Uh-oh.
Maybe she just. I don't know.
We lost her.
I hope she's okay.
I wonder if she knows that we lost her.
I don't know.
Is she waiting to come back in?
Nope. I'll be watching for her, though.
Her computer may have lost connection. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, this is my Robin McClendon style book, and when I was taking it apart, unfortunately, it came completely apart, and now I've got all these loose pages.
Holly says she's messaging her.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Thank you, Holly. Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Oh, Anne just muted herself.
Okay.
Maybe I did by accident. I don't think so.
Someone muted.
Are you
Is it
okay,
okay?
Anne?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, well, you were muted, so I didn't know.
I know. I just looked up and it was muted. It just kind of did it on its own. But I just unmuted it.
Okay, good. Darla says, and those pages are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I've worked pretty hard on them. Some of them are mine and some of them are from Robin McClendon. So like these are mine. And I've been doing some. This is that I make that antique tape. I just use regular packing tape and then swipe it with the brown shoe polish and you get this really kind of neat, looks like old Scotch tape.
Yeah.
And, I started this. These are some of my jelly plates. And someone last night on your stream was, who was it? They were using the smaller version of this stencil.
Oh, Barbara.
Barbara, yeah. And this is the original size of those symbols from the Patty Tully's.
Hi, Val.
This is mine.
Okay.
So now I have to go and collage on them. And then obviously I have to figure out how to bind them. But I'm thinking I might as well just work on the pages and then bind it after. It's much easier. Because if I want a jelly plate on them,
Yeah.
I can just leave them loose. But you can see my dilemma because now I have all of these loose pages. And not sure how to. Do you guys have any suggestions? I mean,
I want to know how to bind them together.
Yeah, I've gone online, and typed in how to bind, loose pages.
Yeah. Well, Tanya and I have done a binding that's it's called single sheet binding.
Mm-hmm. That's what this is. Single sheets.
Yeah.
Right?
And
how heavy are those sheets though?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, they are. I mean, they are. They are pretty heavy because.
Okay, if they're heavy, then that binding would work perfect, Dan. It's there's a couple of tutorials on my channel. Lisa, have you got one too?
I haven't done a tutorial on it. We've just done it in, when we were making books.
Streams. But there's actually a tutorial on it, and it's called single sheet binding, or it's called a slip knot binding. In
okay, I'm writing that down.
Yeah, I didn't bother to make a tutorial because Tanya made a good one. So if it's not broke, don't fix it.
But it works beautifully with single sheets that have some stability. It doesn't work good with lightweight paper sheets.
Right. No, this is heavy. It's cardstock. And it's glued onto the page of the original book, so it's heavy.
Yeah, it would work beautifully for that. And really nice thing about it too is that it lays open when you're.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Yeah.
When you go to the when you go to open it, it lays open.
That's exactly what I was looking for. I was thinking of. Oh, what the heck is the name of that stitch?
Coptic.
Yeah, Coptic. Is it? But that's. I mean, I can do Coptic, but I'm trying not to.
Yeah. Well, this. Go ahead, Tanya.
I find this easier, and Coptic really works better for folded sheets.
Yeah, that's true.
But I find this easier. Okay. I don't know about Lisa, but I find it much easier.
Yes, I agree. I think it's much easier.
Well, that's what I will do then, because these pages are, they're substantial. I mean, they are. They're really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, they're saying that you could bind it with rings,
Yeah, but
but if you don't want to punch holes in it, well,
I
I
don't
mean,
want.
you have to punch holes in it
Well,
for the other, but
yeah, but it can be a little hole, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could do
I
rings,
just don't,
but
I don't like the rings.
I don't. Well, I just think these pages are too pretty to put rings in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I just think it needs something a little bit more sophisticated than rings. I don't know.
And that single sheet binding is really, it's really a nice binding. I really like it. I've used
Okay.
it for a lot of
Let me
things.
get
Okay.
that book and show you.
I'd get
Yeah.
one, but mine are up top, so it's going to be hard to get.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
thinking, okay, which one can I reach?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one she can show you what she's looking for.
Well, I really appreciate that. I figured somebody would have an answer. We're this talented group.
Okay, this is done with the single sheet binding,
Oh, I like that. Okay, that's perfect.
and it
Oh, I love that. That's exactly what this needs.
yeah. Well, Tanya has a video.
I'll see if I can find it for you in
And
just
it's
a
good
minute.
video.
Okay, that's okay. I can always, But that's perfect. That would be absolutely perfect for these pages.
Well,
Now,
and there's actually on my video in the description box, there's a link to a blog post where I found this type of binding, and
Mhm.
she has a printout.
Oh, wow.
So after you've seen the video, sometimes just having that reminder of a printout is really nice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Now that would be perfect. That's what these pages need. Now, the other question I would have, what I do, I don't
Lori
know.
is backstage. Holly says Lori's backstage.
Yep,
Okay.
she is.
Okay. We
Sorry,
lost
Lori.
you.
I don't know how long you were there, but I hope it wasn't very long. I just didn't notice you.
No.
And I was looking for a while, and then I gave up.
Yeah, it took me a while
Thank
to
you,
get back.
Holly.
Thanks,
Yes, Holly. Thank you.
Oh, Becky says the key is to work all 3 stitches at once, or all. If you put in 5 holes, you work them all 5 at once. If you put in 3 holes, you work all 3 of them at once.
Oh, okay.
And
That
you
is true.
work it per page instead of trying to work 1 hole all the way up and then another hole all the way up. That does not work. I
Okay.
agree, Becky.
I can see where that would make sense, Becky, because then you kind of keep the tension kind of even as you're working, instead of would keep it from being too lopsided. Okay. Oh, and there's the link. Is that the blog?
Thank you, Becky. Oh, that's
you,
linked to the blog spot.
All right. I wonder if I can, let me see. Can I pick that up and copy it? I can. All right.
I was going, what is that sound?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. I just wasn't looking, and so I didn't realize what it was. It makes perfect sense, once I saw what you were doing.
Saw it off my.
You don't have to stop just because I
I'm
asked.
just trimming up to make it a little easier.
Okay. Hi, Jean. We're glad you're here.
Okay, Annie, there's the link to the video, to one of, I actually made that video twice.
Okay. I will pick that up. I am
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm pasting.
Cutting and pasting. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it didn't.
Let's see what we do with
It
these.
didn't
What
want me to
we
do
want.
that.
I think we want these 3. Let me see here.
Okay, we're. Whoops. Going the wrong way.
That's kind of cute, yeah. Okay. So these 3 can.
That's Becky's.
Oh heck! I forgot to ink that. Oh well. It's done now. Won't be inking it now.
I like the way you said that. Oh well.
Well.
Oh well. It's not
Too late now.
Too late now.
Not the end of the world. No.
No, it's okay.
We're not gonna worry about it.
Now, where'd you drop that link?
It's up about 6 in the chat.
Okay.
See Tanya McGuire, and it says single sheet binding. Do you see it?
Yep, I do. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I's got it. I's got it.
Okay.
And I will copy that, and I will stick that back over in my other place.
And are you doing the Hop Friday?
Yes.
Are you?
I am.
I've never heard of a master board before. This is
you know what
new
they are.
to me.
You'll know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I watched a couple videos.
I make them all the time, and I guess the challenge is to make it out of stuff that you don't normally use. Yeah. So, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them, various. But I haven't watched the video, so I should probably watch the video to make sure that their master idea of a master board is the same one that I have in my head. You know, because it could be.
There are probably several different takes on it, but I was clueless.
Well, in the past, I've seen people that literally take a sheet of paper and just grab what's laying on their desk and kind of glue it down. But I think we're supposed to be using products that we don't normally use.
Yeah.
So.
And that's my fault. Sorry.
No,
I didn't know she was going to combine it with something else. So.
Oh, are you doing it too, Tanya?
Yeah, my time is 7:10 in the morning.
Oh, cool.
I had sort of forgotten about it. I wasn't going to stream after today, but I kind of had forgotten about it. So.
My gosh, it's going to be March 12th already. I mean, could the
and,
dates go any quicker?
And Becky, that's the one I use. That's the person that I follow is Nina Rabina on her master boards. I mean, that's where I first saw it. We can't afford the cost of a printer of printers. Yeah, but that's kind of my style. That's what I do. The same thing that that's where I first learned about it. In fact, yeah, I really like her. She's got some good stuff. Nina Rabina.
Nina Rabina, huh?
Yeah, she's definitely worth following. Yep. But master boards are fun. Okay, so
I'm running out of energy yet. Thane asks. I'm doing okay. My back's bothering me a little bit, but
you need to stand up and move around a little.
I do.
That helps me a lot.
I'm gonna do that in just 1 second.
Time for jumping jacks. No.
Well, I'm not gonna do jumping jacks. That's for sure.
I actually
I couldn't do a jumping jack if someone held a gun to my head. I couldn't do a jumping jack. I'll tell you that.
Got down and stretched, and that really helped.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Robin,
one of the things I will tell you is don't pull too tight.
Right.
Because
okay.
Tanya Tanya has a bad habit of yanking down that cord real hard. Hi, Janet. Good
No,
morning.
I want to be able to,
and what
open the
happens
pages
is-
and yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, what happens is it'll still open. It'll be beautiful, but it'll gator mouth because I can pull it down tight enough that I can actually pull the cardboard flatter, and then it tends to gator mouth. So just take it easy and be gentle.
And kind of try to, yeah, I want to be able to.
Snug, but you don't want it so tight that, like I do. I've done it to a couple of books and had to go back and fetch everything out of them.
Oh dear, no, I don't. No, I know. I think, yeah. That's my, not too tight, keep the tension as equal as possible across the book.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know, it's pretty big. I'm probably thinking 5 or 4. Can you do 4? I guess you can do 4.
Yeah, you can do each hole is done individually. When you look at it, you'll understand. 4 or 5,
Yeah.
If it were me, it'd be 5 because I always tend to do odd numbers. But that doesn't.
Well,
mean
I was
that
thinking,
it doesn't need 5. It just is that's what I do. So.
Well, that's the aesthetic. It's either 3 or 5. And
yeah.
Is that how you girls bound your crunchy journals that you did?
Yes, that's how we bound our crunchy journals.
Okay.
My 100 days of collage book, that's how I bound it. I'm trying to think what else I might have bound that way, but I use it all the time. I mean, all the time. So,
well, that's good enough for me. It sounds like that's exactly what I was looking for, because I didn't really want to do the Coptic stitch. I've got a couple of things I've done the Coptic stitch, and after opening it a couple of times, it kind of gets a wee bit wobbly, and it's not, it doesn't seem to hold up. So I'm going to blow my nose, excuse me.
Okay. That's allowed.
Okay.
I mean, if it weren't, I'd be in serious trouble.
I keep on sliding off my stool. Oh,
I have that. I have a trouble all the time with that, sliding out of my.
Yeah, it's a little stool, and my pants are slippery, I guess. I don't know. It's cold here this morning for Florida. I
bought a cushion that's supposed to help with your sciatic and your back while you sit so much. I can't stay in it. I keep sliding out of it.
I know.
No, that's not good.
No, I need a seatbelt. Goodness.
Yeah, I slid out of mine one day, and I went to pull myself back to my table, and I ended up on my ass. On the tile floor. That was a rude awakening.
Not good.
No, not good at all. Look what I found. Because when I saw the word bubble, I immediately thought of Jersey. So I have to do bubble. But it has to do in a housing bubble. The article was about why we are not in a housing bubble. So I'm going to work on my newspaper journal. Just newspapers, nothing else. And people were kind enough to send me some newspapers, because I don't get it.
Dana wants to know where you're at, Annie. She's in Winter Haven, she says.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in Melbourne, so I'm about an hour and 5-10 minutes from you. So Winter Haven's beautiful.
But yeah, I'm a lot further north than you are.
Oh yeah, Pensacola is like again, it's another state.
Yeah, it's like in a different place. We're also, almost we're about as far west as you can get now in Florida. So, the north part, other places are just north of us, but we're about as far west as you can get.
That's what my husband said. He said, that's really west. That's why I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
it's a big. That's where my father got his wings.
Yes, I was going to say he's probably in the Navy. Uh-huh.
Yep, he was in the Navy. My sister was born on that naval base, and I was
Hey,
born
Kathy.
in the Newport, Rhode Island naval base. Yeah, Pensacola.
Jeff was born at the base, and I think Jeff was born at the base. A couple of kids were not, but I'm pretty sure Jeff was.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was a Marine, so
Okay, not a was, always.
yeah, that's right. That's true. Always.
I had a friend that was a Marine, and he corrected me, and I.
Well, here's the rub. Jeff was a Marine, but then he was also in the Air Force, which is very unusual.
Yeah. Okay. So where was he first?
He was a Marine first, Cherry Point.
Okay.
The reason he was in the Air Force was because of a job. He had a job that it was what was called an art position. And
so he had to enlist to get the job.
Well, yeah, he had to get back in. He had to lose weight, the whole 9 yards.
Oh.
It was technically a reserve position, but he had to go back and be in the Air Force. So it was an odd kind of situation.
Yeah.
Part of the thing was that because of how the job worked, he was military classified if he had to go out of the country and stuff like that.
Okay.
It had to do with what he was doing for the military as a civilian, and then had to be classified. It was confusing.
Yeah.
But he was doing stuff that they weren't allowed to tell me where they were going. So.
Oh, geez. That's got to be nerve-wracking.
Well, I knew he was all right, but at the same time, it was kind of odd. Brandon was little. We did fine, but and he wouldn't have gotten out except that he got so sick.
Oh, okay.
He had pneumonia or bronchitis about 22 times in 2 years.
Oh, my.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When it all boiled down, it was a blasted building he was working in.
Oh. Got into his lungs? Yeah.
They had so much mold in the building, and nobody realized it was there. We've been fighting with them over it for years. We'll continue to fight with them over it, but it probably won't ever do us any good. But
so then he got a medical discharge?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Kind of, yeah.
No, they actually retired him. That's another part of the weirdness. It all I don't know. It's all kind of odd, and that's one of the reasons why we're still having to fight with them over it.
Okay.
They should have given him a medical discharge. They should have called it one thing. They called it something else. They called it asthma. He does not have asthma.
Oh boy.
The medical people, his doctors never called it asthma. You know, it was all that kind of a weird kind of not properly taken, not properly written out. I mean, he's got a pile of papers like that.
Yeah, I would imagine writing down asthma could mean like a chronic condition that they're not responsible for. That would have a different connotation then.
Yeah, it was, and so, you know, it's all about getting the right people to look at it. That's all it is. And after a while, you get tired of arguing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
but he's actually got, the doctor. He's supposed to call them again this next week. It's
Oh,
a
wow.
constant thing.
That's got to be so frustrating.
Well, luckily, once we got out of that building and once he got, well, and once we learned to manage it, I carry a horrible, awful cough medicine with us everywhere because if he gets a cough, he will have pneumonia. Guaranteed.
Oh, my. Wow.
However, he hasn't had pneumonia nor bronchitis in about 6 years.
Wow.
Oh, well, that's good.
If he can catch the cough, then he doesn't inflame his lungs. And he's healthier now. Even though he's not very healthy, he's healthier now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting because after World War II, my father was stationed in Coronado, and they were doing simulated night landings in a valley out there. And there was a fungus that was indigenous to that valley that got into his lung, and they didn't know what it was. And the only thing they knew what to do was to remove his lung.
Oh.
So that was the end of his naval career. He was going to be a career Navy. He was an aviator, won the Navy Cross at the Battle of Midway, distinguished pilot. And he was hoping that was going to be his career, but that was the end of it. But
and that was kind of what happened with Jeff. He couldn't wear a gas mask. He couldn't fly like he had been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All kinds of things that was causing trouble for him. And if he hadn't been in that building, I don't think he would have been that sick.
Probably not.
That's the thing is that the building honestly made him ill. So,
yeah.
But
I'm sitting here asking a question and saying hi to people, and I was muted.
Oh no!
I don't even know what all I said, except I was asking, is it asbestos that he was in the building?
No, mold.
Okay.
Mold.
I missed part of that when I was talking to Hannah. And
yeah, the mold count, when they finally did a thing, it was a converted, he worked in a converted workshop kind of area. At one time it was a machine shop, I think is what, if I remember correctly. I won't guarantee that. I'm not going to tell you for sure, but I think it was a machine shop. And it had never been insulated. I mean, heck, if you're not careful, that black mold will grow in your bathroom here. I mean,
oh yeah. Here, sure.
My bathroom gets sprayed with vinegar regularly, and because that's the best thing to keep it down, keep any kind of mold down. The neighbor across the street that way, she had so much black mold up under her house that the floor fell through.
Oh my goodness!
And we went to buy a house here that had actually been in one of the floods, and the flood water had come up, and they tried to do the mitigation themselves, and they didn't tell anybody. And luckily we had a mold inspector come in because something was just off about the house. It was a really cute house and we really liked it, but something was off. I just didn't know what. And so we had a mold inspector come in, cost us a fortune, but he wouldn't even go back in the house. Once he got the reports, he said, I'm not going back in that house. He said,
oh my gosh.
He said, I will tell you that that's, if I were you, I'd run as fast as I could away from this house. And
oh wow.
Like, that's fine.
Wow. That is
so it's not hard for it to happen here. we're so moist, and so now we have a wood fungus under our house, but we don't have it anymore. It was there when we bought the house, but we've had it treated, numerous times. So
So do you have a crawl space under your house, or?
yes, we do.
Okay.
We have a crawl space. We set about 3 feet up off the ground, which is a good thing because when Sally came, the water came up the second step.
Oh wow.
Okay, these are too little.
Oh no.
Too little?
What are they too little for? Oh, the strings are too little?
No, my little tags are too little to hold.
Oh.
So it doesn't hold it down the way I want it to hold it down. So I'm going to have to make some bigger tags or something, but I'm not going to do it right now because my brain says I don't want to work on that anymore.
Well, I think at this point that you want to do something that's close to mindless.
I was going to say mindless. Yep.
Mindful mindlessness.
Yeah. But
listen to the brain.
So, this is Florida. Mold grows here. That's fine.
Does.
But you have to be careful with certain kinds of mold. And unfortunately, Jeff worked in that building and it has caused some damage for him. I mean, he has about 30% of his lung capacity.
Oh, wow. Well,
Getting on a CPAP and not getting bronchitis for a few years, and all that stuff has made him a lot healthier.
Healthier, sure. Yeah.
So, look at the prettiness on our screens. Thank you. We put the UV light filter in our central unit to keep down the mold, but living here is daily job to make sure everything is cleaned and no mold growing. And that's true, Kathy. Now that's one of the reasons why here in Pensacola, I would never buy a slab. I'd never buy a house that was on a slab because it's that much harder to keep that kind of stuff up.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the lady who had so much trouble with her house across the street, she had bushes all around her house. The first thing that the wood guy told me to do, he said, "You see those bricks in that foundation?" He said, "You need to knock those suckers out." I said, "That vent ventilation, those vent holes aren't enough." He said, "No, ma'am." He said, I said, "But what about in the wintertime?" He said, "Well, if you're worried about the cold air underneath the house in the wintertime, then you buy these vent things that when it gets cold, they close. When it gets warm, they open."
Oh, okay.
And it has taken us 4 years to get it dried out underneath there enough that this last November or early December, they relayed, you put down this ground cover stuff underneath. It's to keep the moisture from coming up from the ground.
Okay.
We wouldn't let them lay it until this last year because it kept flooding under there.
Oh, wow.
First year we were here, Jeff went out and bought a sump pump.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. We are not supposed to be in a flood zone. So.
I was just going to ask you, how close are you to the water?
Oh, we're outside the I-10 loop, which is the good spot to be if you are worried about paying your insurance. We're 7 miles from the bayou.
Oh, okay.
So our elevation is good and all that. We have water problems because we have a theater up the road from us that was not maintaining their pond. And when you don't maintain your pond, you can get into some serious trouble.
Yeah.
and the water will come in your neighbor's house. and
I.e. Tanya.
And the new neighbor, i.e. Jeff, will call the county commissioner over and over and over again until they send a code compliance officer to the theater who doesn't maintain their property.
Oh dear.
Wow, that's great, Becky. She says the moisture under their house is 10 to 12%, one of the driest houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah, ours was only 14% last time, which is really good. Of course, we had a dry summer. I imagine by the end of the spring it will be bad again. But the thing is that we've done a lot of mitigation to eliminate. Jeff put in 2 huge French drains.
Okay.
He dug 3-foot deep ditches.
Wow.
And shoveled rock, and he had to dig it all by hand because of where it was.
Sure.
You know, you couldn't get the big old.
You couldn't rent a ditch witch. You had to do it by hand.
Yeah, the ditch witch. We could have rented a ditch witch, but and actually there was a little tiny itty bitty backhoe thing that would have even been better, but it wouldn't fit. Where we had to put it was between the shop and the fence, and it wouldn't fit.
Oh.
So he said, if I'm going to have to dig all that by hand, what's left is just not worth renting the ditch witch for.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So,
I never heard of a ditch witch.
Yeah.
it's a wonderful little toy.
It is, and it digs a nice little ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk behind it like a rotary,
like a rototiller, like a
rototiller. Yeah, very much like a rototiller, except it's narrow, like a ditch. You know.
Cool.
You'll see electricians use them because they only need to dig a little narrow ditch. The cable guys, if they're running underground cable, they'll be using them.
Yeah, they'll be using them. That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can rent them.
Yep, you can rent them. Back in 10s. Okay. Ooh, it's 8:30 already. Oh, yep. That was another one of those. I'm just glad it didn't splatter all over me days.
I am cold.
Man, you're cold?
Yeah,
I've been cold all night, but
I should go put some pants on. Shorts on. I have shorts on.
Oh, I get my heat gun out and warm in my fingers.
Yeah, it's not really cold. I mean, relatively speaking, I guess it's cool.
In other words, Ann, it's not like living in South Dakota. Is that what you're telling?
Yeah, there you go. Or living south of Buffalo. Now that's cold.
There you go. South of Buffalo, I don't think it's near as cold as South Dakota.
Probably not.
You know who we haven't seen all night, Lisa? Is Mike. Mike, he would have used. I would have thought he might have come in because of the timing, you know.
Yeah. Well, maybe he didn't get the memo.
Maybe not, you know. He's in North Dakota, and that's why I say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And here recently they had like minus 60.
Yeah, we only had the coldest we ever had was minus 37. Without the without the wind chill. It was a straight minus 37. And they closed school because it was too cold for the kids to stand outside and wait for the bus. But that was the coldest it was ever when I was living there.
In South Dakota, they never close a school. I swear, they just don't close a school unless there's no electricity. We had 40 days in a row where the actual temperature did not get above 0. And it was well below freezing. I can't. I mean, it was so far below 0 that I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this." That was the second winter we were there.
Yeah,
that page may be too green.
It can't be too green.
Are you sure?
Let me see. No, You got blue.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can add more glue if you want, though.
Add some more blue. Or throw in some.
No, it's all right. I'll leave it the way it is. I think I'm going to have to add some more green over here, though. And that's after I shoveled it back into the bottle because I thought it was too much. Yeah. Deanie says it never closes there either.
Yeah. Well,
they don't close school.
The only time, and we obviously had a lot of snow because we were on Lake Erie, so we had the lake effect snow.
Yes.
So you would get, dumped. But they always had school. The only time they would close school during the snow is if it was blowing and the buses had poor visibility. That's when, if they couldn't see, obviously. And the high school was up in the country. There were no sidewalks. No one could walk to the high school. Kids had to be bused. And it was a large rural school district. These were mostly farm kids, and but that's the only time if the buses couldn't see, which is probably a good reason to close school if the bus drivers can't see the road.
Yeah. I think the only time they closed school when we were there was when we had the ice storm and the school didn't have power for like 7 days.
Oh,
town didn't have. Yeah, well, they lost something like 4,000 power poles.
Oh, yeah, the weight of that ice just.
Yeah.
I remember having
Tori is here. Hi, Tori. Hi, Gail. Hi, Cindy. Candy. That's Candy, not Cindy. I can't read.
It's Candy, yeah.
I not only can I not talk, I can't read.
I see Candy. Oh, yeah, yes, the magic of watching school buses slide around on ice filled with your offspring. Dang is right. Oh, Lord.
Well, I'll tell you, in Huron, very few of the kids rode the bus. When in the 8th grade, when you're 13 and you can get a permit and drive for a couple of months with your parent and then actually get a driver's license that allows you at 13 to drive to school and back.
Yeah.
And to school functions, which are football games on Friday nights, late at night.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, they could drive at 15 where we live, but not 13. That's really.
8th grade.
Well, I tell you what,
my
the kids
didn't, but.
Well, the kids where I taught at this school in Buffalo, outside of Buffalo, and they would drive their snowmobiles to school. So you'd have little 7th graders on these gigantic snowmobiles, and there were groomed trails that they could ride snowmobiles through the woods. There was a snowmobile club that made these snowmobile trails, and they had little stop signs and stuff. So they would drive their snowmobiles to school with all their snowmobile, paraphernalia and equipment. And then they
14
would do
alone. Yep. Deanie says 14 alone, and that's you got your permit at 13 and 14 alone.
That is crazy. Well, less traffic, right? So.
Well, not really. Besides the fact when we come home one night and there was dead cows on the road, and I think there must have been 6 wreckers because that's how many cars were damaged. And
oh wow.
Yeah. Rural doesn't always mean less danger.
Oh, believe me, I know, because I was a volunteer fireman person in that rural district, and horrible car wrecks on those backcountry roads, just devastating, going way too fast.
A pheasant can do an amazing amount of damage to the front end of a van.
And deer and pheasant, all of that stuff. Yep, absolutely. We were transporting somebody in the ambulance one night, and we actually hit a deer on our way to the hospital.
Oh dear.
And
I did too. As soon as, of course, I was driving not a Land Rover. I was driving a tractor by the time I could reach pedals.
I'm sure.
It was just a little tractor, but you know, if I could mow the grass, mow the fields, that Dad was happy, and that made him, you know, I could do that job. He was not unhappy.
One less thing for him to have to do.
That was it.
Yeah, I see that. Well, when you see these little kids and they get in these gigantic, you know, vehicles, it's scary. See, I grew up on Long Island, and because of Long Island and, you know, the close proximity to the city, we could get our permit at the age of 17, but couldn't get a license until we were 18. They just didn't want the people on the road.
They want all that extra traffic.
Yeah. And you can only get your license at 18 as if you had, I guess 17, you could get it if you had taken driver ed. And driver ed was an actual class that was offered at the high school.
Yeah, for me too.
And they had the little driving simulators, and or you could take it in summer school and get your license, you know, a little bit earlier.
Sydney, no naps. No naps. This is a no nap Stream-A-Thon.
We're in the no nap zone.
We've
No
had a
nap
lot of
zone.
tea. We've had a
We
lot
drink
of
a lot of tea. That's right. But no nap.
And I've eaten a lot of junk, but no naps. I actually like this page.
See? I think it looks great.
I like it too.
It's very somber.
Yeah, something I kind of like it. I think it will have a lot of fun. I will have a lot of fun doodling on that page.
I remember cutting some of these pieces. Ooh, that looks good.
You'd be dead. Cindy says she couldn't make it through. She wouldn't make it. Well, we have a few hours left to go.
Yeah.
Not
You guys
we've already done, but a few hours left to go. Yes.
You guys have been amazing.
Oh, well, look what time it is, Tanya.
Yes, I know. I'm going to give it a couple minutes more before I go off to
Do all the things that need to be done to get ready.
Yeah.
Get out. It's 9:40.
Especially since I forgot to do one thing on the second time I streamed.
Wow.
It was a good idea to do the 3-hour segments.
Yeah. Switching back and forth. Well, not only that.
Hi, Rain Girl.
They'll upload faster. They'll do things.
Hi,
That's
Cindy.
really cool, Lori.
I see.
Is that just a masterboard piece, or is it on something?
No, it's a journal.
Let me make you big.
Oh,
just a second.
the journal cover.
That is really cool.
Oh, I love that.
Yep. That looks reminiscent of Jean.
It does. Very much like Jean.
Right. Jean inspired.
Jean's fired. Jean inspired. I thought you said Jean's fired. I was like, why are you firing her? She did good.
Okay, and Cindy just asked you a question, Lisa. Is that cloth? And I think it is. So
yes,
I am going to go off because I have a couple people to send.
Yes, this is cloth, and I'm going to layer these things, and then I'm going to sew them together, and then come back in and do some collage stuff on them. And what they're supposed to be is kind of a quick way to put a journal cover together. Like I intended to put one on here, so we'll just use this. you could just, after you get it all made, you can just come in and glue that onto the front of a journal.
Well, that's good.
But and I'm trying to make them different sizes because books are different sizes, you know, and different colors and all that kind of stuff. So that one would have been pretty on there.
Oh yeah.
But or this one. That one's a little too wide for this book, but well, I mean, it'd be okay.
Is that a napkin?
No, it's just fabric.
Oh wow. Fancy.
So Beth Ann, howdy do. I'm glad you're here. In just a few minutes, we're going to move over to Tanya's channel.
Time for musical
chairs. musical
crafting channels, right? Switcheroo.
Yeah, chat's important, Cindy. Chat's important. That's where all the fun people are, except for the ones who are on screen. There's fun people on screen too. But chat's part of the reason for being here, so
yeah. Talking to people from all over.
I know, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I just quit working.
So who's coming on next?
Trying to remember.
Oh, I can look.
Who's on first?
It's in the list. I hit pause. Yeah.
I don't know if I saw anybody. I thought, was it just?
Yeah,
no,
somebody's coming on next. I just can't remember who it.
There's a 9 to 12 slot. Well, I can find out on my other computer here.
It's working very well.
Becky.
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought Becky was gonna. Why is that not? Oh, okay.
And Jean, Becky and Jean. That's who's
there you go.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Excuse me.
Don't like that. Like that.
Well, that's very crooked cutting, but it's, you know, all bunched up and awkward.
Oops. Glue is very sticky. That's the only problem.
I don't know what's going on. Y'all talking about hairy knees and hairy feet. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing I'm not watching chat as close as I should.
Okay.
I had a graphic that had that I didn't glue down, but no one can see that. So I was wondering whether they saw my hairy foot. There was a picture that I was going to glue down, but now it's gone.
Now it's gone.
Yeah, it's in this pile of cutouts. You know, working in just newspapers is an interesting challenge, you know, because.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. You're welcome. Whatever, however you say that. Wow. Icy says she's just dismantled 2 big wallpaper books and now cutting out all the photos which were in them. Very cool.
Oh, wow.
I love wallpaper books.
I would love to get a wallpaper book.
Oh, who has them? Oh, Shelley has them to get rid of. Because they're going to be moving.
Yeah. I know she was definitely selling some of them to raise money for Defy.
Yes.
So I didn't know if she still had any left or not, but
I'm not sure. That's a good point. I know that she was just destashing, and
yeah,
they will be moving eventually back to the mainland, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, to Maine. I think they're moving to Maine.
Oh,
no,
really?
no. I don't think mainland. I think they were looking at Myrtle Beach.
I was going
okay. I thought she
Shelley
said,
wants to go
she
warm.
said Maine.
No. Oh, no. She doesn't want to do cold.
No, she wants.
Well, I knew she didn't, but I thought that's where she said that her father-in-law lived, and that's where they were going to have to go.
Oh no, the
the
father-in-law was in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
He was a big animal vet in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
But which would be pretty.
Anyway, I thought they were going wherever he was. That's.
Yeah,
I thought so originally. Maybe, I don't know. The last top she was sharing a little more, and it sounded like they hadn't decided.
Yeah, right. Kathy says she wants to eventually move to South Carolina.
Yeah, but she wants warm. But I'm not a fan of Florida. But
Andrea says that she got hers at a recycle store.
Oh.
But I'm trying to see what it was. She was talking to Candy, so I want to see what was Candy asking about.
I think it was a wallpaper book.
Wallpaper books, but
yeah, I would love to fall into one, but
yeah,
I want to go to a couple hours from here to get some other books. My husband was balking. How about we go to Hawaii to get a wallpaper book?
There you go.
I didn't think so.
Well, I guess they wouldn't be too bad. You'd put them in one of those boxes that if it fits, it ships, so you wouldn't be paying for the weight, you know.
Well, I think the way Shelley was sending them was they were huge, but she was wrapping them and sending them media mail.
Okay, yeah, that's a big savings.
Yeah, because it's a big book.
Oh, yeah.
So it works, but thank you, Janet. She just put in the link to Tanya's channel, but I imagine all of you know where it is. We're just a couple minutes away from moving over there, so. Isn't that terrible, Kathy? I never asked Home Depot. I just went to Sherwin-Williams, and that's where I went. And they gave them to me. But I wondered about Home Depot.
I called a hardware store, a local hardware store, but they don't carry them anymore. They don't have wallpaper anymore. So
yeah. Well, I guess it was last March or April, right after the shutdown,
Mm-hmm.
I went into Sherwin-Williams to ask them if they had any extra books, that they were retiring. And he said, we're getting rid of all of them. Take what you want.
Wow.
So I was in a real hurry, so I didn't get a bunch, but I got a few. And then I came home and I went through my other ones that I had and then gave them to a friend who's just beginning to do mixed media stuff here in town, so she could just come pick them up. So they've had, at least 2 or 3 people, because I've cut wallpaper out and folded it up and sent it in one of those what do you call those? Those flat rate bubble wrap envelopes.
Oh.
And anyway, if you will email me, I could cut some pieces out and put them in one of those and send it to you. I think the shipping's like $8.55. If you don't mind paying the shipping, I don't mind sending you the stuff. But
yeah, I have some. It's for me. It's more of the thrill of finding it. The challenge of finding it. I don't know. That sounds crazy, but
no, it's not crazy at all. It's a treasure hunt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why we go to thrift stores. It's a treasure hunt.
If I walked into a thrift store and there was one of those books there, oh my gosh, you'd hear me screaming.
Well, send me an email. I'll send you some papers if you want some. But
thank you.
Okay, I think we're fixing to end our stream and go over to where Tanya's at.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Well, thank you so
Thank y'all
much
for coming on.
having us.
Fun.
It was
Bye,
fun.
ladies.
We
Bye,
really
ladies.
appreciate it. Bye-bye, all.
Take care.
Have a good day.